There are people in your life right now that you love, and somewhere deep down, you know you're not growing away from them, and that might be one of the most painful things nobody ever prepares you for. We always think that when people leave our lives, there's going to be a reason, an argument, a betrayal, something to point to. But sometimes people just drift, and there's nothing to blame. Nobody did anything wrong, you just changed, or they changed, or both of you did. And one day, you realize the conversations aren't the same anymore. You're talking, but you're not really saying anything. You hang out, but it feels like you're going through the motions. And you feel guilty for even noticing, because they're a good person, because they've been there for you, because there's history there. But guilt doesn't change what you feel. And this is the part that's hard to admit. Sometimes growing means going somewhere that not everyone can follow you. Not because they're bad, not because you're better. Just because you're heading in a different directions now. And that's real, and it's okay, even if it hurts. The thing about outgrowing someone is that the guilt is almost worse than the loss itself. Because you start asking yourself, am I being selfish? Am I abandoning someone who needs me? Am I becoming one of those people who just throws away relationships the moment they're not convenient anymore? And maybe sometimes that's worth asking, genuinely. But most of the time, you already know the answer. You know the difference between running away and something real and growing towards something new. You know. The guilt comes because you care, and caring is not a reason to stay somewhere that's stopping you from becoming who you're supposed to be. You can love someone and still need space from them. You can wish someone well and still need to walk your own path. Those two things can both be true at the same time. Nobody really describes what it actually feels like, so let me try. It feels like you're in the same room, but you're already somewhere else. It feels like you're performing a version of yourself that you already left behind. Laughing at jokes you don't find funny anymore, agreeing with things that don't sit right with you, shrinking yourself to fit a space you've outgrown. And the exhausting part isn't the distance, it's the pretending that there isn't any. And there's this moment, and maybe you had it, where you're with someone you've known for years, and you suddenly realize you don't know how to explain to them who you are right now. Like you have to start from scratch. Like too much has changed and there is not enough time to catch them up. The moment is quiet and heavy, and it's the moment you know something has shifted that probably won't shift back. I'm not going to tell you to cut everyone off. I'm not going to give you a checklist of toxic traits to look for. Because this isn't about toxicity, this is about direction. Some relationships are seasonal. They were exactly what you needed at the time. They helped you survive something, or laugh through something, or get through a version of a life you've now moved past. And that doesn't make them less real. It makes them meaningful in a different way. Honor what it was. Don't drag it into what it isn't anymore. And for the relationships worth fighting for, fight for them. Communicate. Grow together if you can. Some people will surprise you. Some people are willing to grow with you if you give them the chance. But stop performing. Stop shrinking. Stop staying out of your guilt alone. Because the truest thing you can do for yourself, and honestly for them too, is to be real about where you are. Not everyone is meant to stay for the whole journey. Some people are there for a chapter and chapters end. That's not a failure, that's just how life is written. The hard part is letting the chapter close without trying to rewrite it. Give yourself permission to grow, give yourself permission to change, and give yourself permission to grieve the connections that don't survive that change, because that grief is real and it deserves to be felt. You're not a bad person for becoming someone new.